So big news out of Washington today. It's been announced that the Education Department will be turning over all their defaulted loans to the Treasury Department. Put that in perspective, it's about 1 in 4 student loan borrowers is in default, meaning that they haven't paid on their student loans for 270 days, roughly 9 months. So that's what puts folks into default. To get where we're at today, a retrospective over the last 10 years is important to understand what has happened with defaulted student loans. The numbers, the percentages really haven't changed a ton. Of the 45 million borrowers, roughly a quarter of them are in default, and as of today, that represents $180 billion, 9.2 million borrowers. So going back, a lot of things have happened with those that were in default through COVID. Student loan payments were paused, student loan interest was paused, but that turned back on in 2023. Created, I would call it chaos, but it did, as that was a big hit for a lot of people. So they made some smart moves. They built an on-ramp program, so they weren't following the rules that they have in place to report those to credit. So that was kind of a nice pause to get people, back in, make sure they've got the right payment plan in place. They've obviously adjusted the income-based repayment plans have been reiterated here in the last few years, and so those are pretty well set in stone now. And now this most recent move, about a year ago, they said we're not going to garnish wages. They had the ability to garnish up to 15% of your disposable income. And then they also had the ability to intercept your IRS tax return if you're in default. So that kind of paused, which I think was kind of a good move as they sorted this out. So now I think what we'll see going forward from the Treasury Department is for those in default, they're going to make sure they're working with your servicer, make sure you get your loan payments back on a status and get it in a repayment plan. If it's instead of just not making payments, getting into the income-based repayment plans, I think is really where this is headed. And this is part one of three, is they've laid out the defaulted student loan borrowers will be coming in to the Treasury Department directly, and then eventually I think the goal is most of those student loans all be turned over to the Treasury Department in phases here over the coming years. Stay tuned. There's been a lot of things. You look at this decade of default over the last 10 years. There's lots of things that have happened. So stay tuned to see what happens next. And if you like this video, like us below, share us with some friends. We try to keep up to date on all things education, finance, and student loans is a big part of it. So hope you enjoy the video, and we'll see you soon.